2026 Arnold Palmer Invitational champion. Batia's win yesterday was the third time in the last 4 events that he's had a top 10 finish. He looks to ride his hot streak into this week's Players Championship. It's 85 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Frank, Hayes, and JJ. Hit it! It's time for the Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome you in. Today's new drug is just a spectacular day here at Sawgrass. What a way to kick off golf week. You know, starting tomorrow, all of our programs will be at the Players Championship. But today, we're honored to be at the Haight. Frank, Frangie, Hayes, Carline with you. RJ Saunders filling in again back at World Headquarters. We've been out here. We come every year. And we love being out here every year. But sometimes it's cold. It's blowing. This is by far the best weather day we've had today. How gorgeous is this?
Chamber of Commerce day today. I mean, you couldn't draw this one up any better. It's gorgeous.
Oh, my God. So we're at the Sawgrass Country Club. Our friend Nick Morrow is going to join us in about 15 minutes. He is the athletic director at UNF, and they put this on. Scott Schroeder, the golf coach, will join us at the top of the hour just for a few minutes to talk about the Haight. We'll give you an update on how the UNF team did, how everybody did out here. They're all wrapping up play, but I will tell you, it's one of the outstanding golf tournaments, college golf tournaments in the country every year, and they're very proud for our friends at UNF to host this thing. So that comes up in a day. We're very excited about that. All right, a lot of things to get to today. I'm not going to bury the lead, though. Last week, I wasn't aware, I guess, that Montaric Brown was going to fetch what he fetched. We had this talk Friday, and I said, and maybe did you know all along that he would get 11? Because I asked you, you said 333. Well, that's what it was. But I don't know, Hayes. The good news is that you follow the story all day long today. You know that Montaric Brown, the Jags kept him. That was a big deal for the Jags. And the Jags wound up keeping him 3 for $33 million. They also re-signed Dennis Gardeck, 2 for $12. We're going to go all around the things that happened in the league, including Travis Etienne for the Saints. But first things first, the most important part is that Montaric Brown stays. That was an interesting story that, at least in my mind, developed late for me.
Yeah, because you started to get a little concerned that they weren't going to be able to keep him. You knew Lloyd and Etienne were going to be incredibly difficult, but you kind of always thought that, Montaric would be back. And then once you got to the combine and sort of started to hear some scuttlebutt out of that, then it was like, well, it may be harder than they expect. And, but they were able to get it done. Obviously, they did some restructuring. Jordan Lewis added to McCary and Murray over the weekend. So, they were able to create some room. And yeah, it's huge to get Montaric Brown back. He played 68% of the defensive snaps last year. And I think Dennis Gardeck's an underrated, signing to get him back. I was really impressed with the jolt that he brought to that pass rush. So, get both those guys back is big for Anthony Campanile.
I'll tell you a story now about Montaric. And I told Mike and Tony this story when I was on with them with Jaguars today, earlier today. I can tell you this. Hayes, when the word came out that they were trading Tyson Campbell to the Browns, there was some shock value there for all of us. When you say, I think it was kind of a shocking thing. I don't think anybody expected that. So when the word came out that they were trading him, kind of asked around a little bit. And what I was told, the vibe I got, not in these words, but they were already thinking about alternating or almost platooning. He and Montaric played on the same side, almost platooning Montaric Brown and Tyson Campbell. They thought there wasn't much drop off between. They were kind of similar. And I remember thinking, really, I had the handful of people that I got that from. Really, yeah, that was the plan. So if you already were going to start, and this is not knocking Tyson. Tyson's a good player. This isn't to say Tyson Campbell's not a good player. I'm pointing out what a good player Montaric Brown is. That's kind of the point here. If you're already going to start alternating, almost platooning Montaric Brown and Tyson Campbell, why not go ahead and dump some of that money, get Greg Newsome, and Greg Newsome did not play great, and so I don't think anybody expected him to come back necessarily. But they loved the point of this story is they loved Montaric Brown early. They didn't discover that late in the year, and he's a terrific player. And I think now Montaric Brown on one side, Travis Hunter on the other side, Jordan Lewis is your nickel. Jarian Jones can play all three spots. Christian Braswell came on a little bit as your fifth corner. There's always work to do in your roster. But they've fortified that, and honestly, if Eric Murray is a solid guy, not only to restructure, he's a good player. Antonio Johnson really came on. If Caleb Renshaw is what they hope at safety, I got to tell you, the secondary, again, there's always work to do, but I feel pretty good about that group. I do.
I agree, because you have options now. And, so if you do sustain an injury early on in training camp or early on in the regular season, it's not necessarily panic time. And I do like the depth and versatility of the group. And look, they're going to draft a corner.
Yeah.
So you're gonna add to it. I don't know if it'll be on Friday, day 2, with the 1 second and the 3/3, but it certainly could be. And but I would imagine they will certainly draft a corner.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if not in the first 4 rounds. So I think they'll continue to add to it. But yeah, I think had they not gotten Brown back, I think it would have put them in a situation where that would have been a little bit of a concern. Now I think it's a stabilized position that now you're just trying to find the icing on the cake for.
Yeah, and let me say this too. We stay on this for a second, and I'll get to Dennis Gardeck, because you're right. Dennis Gardeck's important. Number one, he's a good outside linebacker. In a base, in a 4-3 base, he's your outside linebacker. Number two, in nickel, they found something with him as a pass rusher. That smaller, twitchier guy we talk about all the time. Trayvon moves inside a lot of nickel, and your ends are in nickel, Josh Hines, Allen, and Gardeck, and he gives you something. He also fits the culture, that chip on the shoulder. He's that guy, and so I think he fits. There's a leadership component there, and I think he fits that as well. The other thing is, if he wasn't going to, tell me if I'm crazy, I'm really happy about the Travis Etienne thing. I would have loved him to stay here. I think he's a good player. But he's one of the guys that I wanted to root for if he wasn't going to be here. He got $13 million a year. He wasn't going to get that here. Okay, so he went and got in, and he's going to his home state where he grew up in Louisiana. But I didn't want him in the AFC. I damn sure didn't want him in the division. I didn't want him in the AFC. I didn't, and nor did I want him to go to an NFC team that, God forbid, we get to the Super Bowl, because I think the Jags could. Or I don't think they're going there. So it's the perfect. If you just said, if you can't have Travis Etienne, where would you like to see him go? As a guy that likes him, and I mean, he's never been anything but respectful. That's a good dude. And yeah, I want him to go to an NFC team. It's not very good. That's what I would have hoped. And if there's even another chip for him because he's going home. So I'm if he couldn't be here, I'm glad the way that played out.
Yeah, it worked out great for Etienne, and I think it worked out great for the Saints. I mean, the Alvin Kamara era is ending there, and Kamara has been one of the best Saints in the last 25 years. And so, if Kamara retires, whatever becomes of him, if the Saints release him, it sounds like he might just be ready to give it up. Etienne is the perfect player and person to assume that role for New Orleans. So, yeah, I give the Saints a lot of credit in terms of identifying Etienne as somebody they wanted to add. And certainly from a Jaguars perspective, you're probably not going to have to worry about him. Certainly, at least not this year. And, we'll see moving forward.
Right.
But yeah, so good for him. And, it's really interesting that Devin Lloyd's still unsigned. That one's going to be interesting to see where it lands.
Yeah, I would imagine he's going to get paid. Like you, I thought it might have been today. Other things, the things that Jaguars, we'll track 2 things. What happens with Devin Lloyd, and then what the Jaguars do. I said this Friday. I don't think they'll be super active in free agency. I think there'll be a couple guys, and I think if they don't bring back Devin Lloyd, that's a position. That may be position A now, the weak side linebacker. Right now, Jack Kaiser's really worked more at the mic behind Foye Oluokun. So the 2 wills on the team now are Ventrell Miller and Branson Combs, who they like. But they're probably going to go find a guy to play that spot. As you said a couple of days ago or a week ago, there's probably someone that's not on the roster now. So I would look at that spot. I might look at the interior defensive line, maybe edge. If indeed they were involved in the Max Crosby pursuit, as has been reported, that would tell you that maybe they're gonna go try to do something at the edge. So keep an eye on what the Jags do there. Keep an eye on the Devin Lloyd thing, and we certainly will throughout the day. One other thing about all that story that caught my attention: Malik Willis is getting $67 million. Now, he played great when he played last year. But, again, following this SEC football like I do, this is still a guy that could never get above third team at Auburn and went to Liberty, and you know the story. That one jumped off the page for me. The Colts were smart to find a way to keep Alec Pierce. I think he's a really good player. Trading Pittman to the Steelers, Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, got my attention. Mike Evans to the 49ers because of our division. Arden Key to the Colts. I think those are the ones that kind of got my attention so far today.
Yeah, and then Jonathan Franklin Myers signing with the Titans.
Good call.
That's a
Should have
concern.
wrote that down too.
So yeah, Tennessee spent a bunch of money today, as you would expect, because they're a struggling organization, new coach, and they've got a lot of cap money. So I don't know that it greatly changes how I view the Titans. But certainly that was a player that we had discussed, as possibly a fit in Jacksonville, Franklin Myers, and the Titans get him. But yeah, I mean, Mike Evans to the 49ers is really interesting. I mean, he was a guy that you kind of thought might be the rare player in this generation that played the whole time with one team.
Yeah.
And but in San Francisco, if Mike Evans can stay healthy, he's got a chance, I think, to have a superb curtain call here on his NFL career and win at a high level, because Shanahan is going to make sure that he is getting targets deep downfield, and I think Brock Purdy is capable of getting him the ball. So with the other weapons San Francisco has, Mike Evans really has a chance to have huge success and solidify what's a Hall of Fame resume.
And look, they're a really good team, who's the third best team in their division. So they had to be active somewhat. I mean, it's a shame if you're a 49ers fan to have that good of a team. They have a good team.
Yeah, they might have the seventh best team in the NFL, and they're the 13th.
Correct. So they'll certainly have to do that. All right, so a lot of football to talk about. We'll continue to track it all day long, all week long, but it's also a week for golf. We're happy to be at the Haight. Nick Morrow will join us just a little bit to talk a little basketball, too, since Bobby Kennan has been retained, which I think is a good move. I'm glad about that. So we'll talk some basketball, and then we'll get you set for the Players' Championship. Can I tell you a golf story?
I'd love to hear it. I'm shocked that I want every detail. I want the wind. I want, how you were playing up to arriving at the hole.
Well,
give us the whole thing.
Well, it was number 3. So I
okay.
didn't play
well, how was your practice session?
So, by the way, I played lousy. Shot 86. I didn't play very well today, but I had my first hole-in-one.
Congratulations.
On number 3, and I apparently I put it on Twitter. There's like 7,000 likes, but a lot of people asked about my club choice. So I got to explain my club choice.
Why did you have to? I obviously is not a golf playing person. So, I enjoy golf as a spectator, but why is the club choice controversial?
So what I did is I've always hit 7-iron 150, 6-iron 160, blah blah blah. Well, I'm 67, and I saw where Fred Couples went to hybrids. Now, he got rid of all his irons longer than a 7-iron and got hybrids. So I said, okay, I'm 1 year older than Fred Couples, almost to the day. With probably similar golf games. And I, so I tried them. So I hit, and I love them. I'm never going back. I don't know why I didn't do it forever. But old guys are allowed to hit hybrids instead of irons. So when I put it out there, someone, you can't hit a hybrid. You can't. Well, yeah, I can.
Let me get this straight. Yeah. There were people trying to sully your hole-in-one because of your club selection?
Correct. So anyway.
Get a life, you morons. What are you doing?
So I hit a 6 hybrid instead of a 6-iron, 160-yard hole. I'm a right-to-left player, so I hit it high, okay? But you could tell when I hit it now, it wasn't one of those cheap ones that you ground it and it just rolls in. It was a good shot. And my buddies are watching. Wow, this thing's got a chance. Well, turns out Tara, our cart girl, the cart girl comes the opposite direction because you're going this way. Just happened to be on our hole and is sitting in her cart on the side of the green. So the ball's in the air, it hits, and it disappears. But we're still on the tee. And my buddies go, I think you made it. And I said, nah, it's probably going to be down. There's one of those ones that looks like you made it. And my buddy Brian said, no, I think you made it. And my buddy Lenny goes, no, I think he's right. I think you made it. All of a sudden, Tara jumps out of the cart and jumps up in the air.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fist in the air. And then she runs over the hole and looks at it and jumps up again. I said, I'll be damned. I was numb. My buddies are going crazy. They're running around. They're jumping around. I was kind of numb. I played golf my whole life, and I had a hole-in-one. So I had my first hole-in-one. You buy some drinks, but what happens is everyone buys you drinks. Okay, so there's an outside chance that we'd had 3 vodkas on the course. That's an outside chance.
By hole 3 or after the hole?
After for the round. So we get to the clubhouse. Well, I don't drink as much beer anymore because I just beer fills. So I've become a bourbon drinker. So I've become an old fashioned drinker. So someone buys me an old fashioned. Well, you got to drink it.
Oh, sure.
You just had a hole-in-one.
Be disrespectful not to.
And then another friend comes up. And they buy a hole-in-one. You know what you do? You buy your old-fashioned. You know what you do if you're respectful? You drink it.
You drink it quickly.
There's an outside chance that I drank 5 old-fashions in an hour.
That's awesome.
After 3 vodkas on the golf course. I drove my golf cart home.
You went to Florida. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what you said. Drove my golf cart home, walked inside. I went to the couch. You know how much I love Florida basketball.
Yeah,
I love Florida, Kentucky basketball.
Kentucky,
I live for Florida, Kentucky. Okay.
Yeah.
Passed out, missed the first half. Okay. I thought I lost the ball. Suzanne goes, you didn't lose the ball. You stumbled in there and handed me the ball. It's on my desk. We're good. And I'm going to tell this part of the story because you said I should tell the whole story, right?
Oh, absolutely. Every detail.
Again, I don't drink a lot anymore these days. I might have some drinks, but I'm sat up at halftime, saw the Gators were leading, had not watched any of the game. And my wife, because God gave me the greatest wife of all time, God decided a long time ago I was going to need this, walks over with this gigantic Tupperware bowl and just hands it to me. Doesn't say, my wife's so calm, nothing flattered, nothing flustered. You know my wife, okay? Hands me the bowl. I proceed to use the bowl about 3 times to where, you know those big Tupperware bowls where you got to put your arms around?
It's a good thing she didn't hand you a strainer.
No, it's a good thing. I filled it up. I threw up into the Tupperware bowl for probably 5 minutes. My wife never batted an eye. She took it.
Yeah.
She
understood the assignment.
She came back. She goes, we're good. You had a hole in one. You good? I said, I'm good. Okay. Passed back out. Okay. And I think I woke up at 9. Okay. For about an hour. Felt awful. And then woke up and watched Florida, Kentucky at about 7 a.m. Sunday morning. So there you go. So I saw Florida, Kentucky Sunday morning. And so there you go. So that was my day.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. That was my first.
And shame on you people that are criticizing a club selection.
But
Good Lord.
But
I mean, it's so sick. Where's like society is gone that somebody can't enjoy a once-in-a-lifetime moment because you got to be upset about the club selection.
Well, you know, I've never had one.
I don't care if you used a putter.
So I posted on Twitter on X. I've never had this happen before. There were 500,000 views and 7,300 likes. So if it's that viral, you're going to get some of those folks, you know. So, but anyway, it was a wonderful day. My first hole in one. I'm very excited about it. I started feeling better last night. Okay, I started rounding my last, and this morning I felt fine. So there's that.
There you go.
So there you go. So that's my day. That's my first hole in one, and I promise I won't tell that story again at least until tomorrow. We'll take a break. When we come back, Nick Morrow stops by to talk UNF, to talk about the 8 and a whole lot more. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's more than great drives, stellar shots, and perfect putts. 1010XL is your radio home for the Players' Championship with live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by
Dynamic Drives and Designs,
Wingstop,
and North Florida Medical Centers.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles there since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities and all we're trying to do to give underprivileged kids a chance to play baseball. Treating you right, giving the most back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. Visit the showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com. Remember again, who does it best? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Meet John and Ben Lupo, first and second generation owners of Jacksonville's Beards Diamonds.
We can do things that these corporate stores cannot do. Make decisions on the spot. Our pricing is better than anybody else's. We do not do commissions.
We really try to keep it a family environment, relaxed. We're not trying to sell you what we want. We're trying to listen to what you want.
In fact, don't be surprised if you end up spending less at Beards than you had budgeted, because they're going to teach you how to buy a diamond like a dealer buys and show you how to buy smart.
If we can save the consumer money, we're all about that. If we can achieve the same look, the same quality, and for them to spend less, that's what Beards is built on.
Why pay more if you don't have to?
Dad always taught me from day one is you got to look at the diamond. You can't just buy off of paperwork. Rather than us just saying, hey, this one's $7,000, the other one's $10,000, we're going to tell the consumer why this one's $7,000 and why this is $3,000 less, but almost looks identical.
Don't overpay at the Wall Street-owned corporate chain. Get the transparency and value you deserve at Beards at St. John's Town Center.
Patrick Young here, a.k.a. the Big PY, and you know I love my Florida Gators. Now you can hear my Gator basketball instant reaction following each Gator Hoops game. Look for my takes on the social channels of 1010XL, brought to you by VanguardSportsLeagues.com.
Gold and silver prices are near all-time highs. If you have old jewelry just laying around, Estates Roadshow wants to buy it. Gold and silver, old rings, chains, even broken jewelry. Don't wait. Cash in while gold and silver are hot. The Estates Roadshow is coming back to the First Coast March 16th through the 20th in St. Augustine at World Golf Renaissance and in Palm Coast at the Holiday Inn Express. For more info, visit estatesroadshow.com or follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook to see all upcoming local events and locations.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Hi, I'm Mark Hassan, 2026 Tournament Chairman for the Players' Championship. Thanks to support from all of you, this championship can positively impact our Northeast Florida community all year round. The Players' Championship starts tomorrow.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We appreciate our friends at the Best Bet. They're the best in the business. You want to have a good time. Best Bet St. Augustine is right off of I-95. Best Bet Orange Park is on US 17. And, of course, that fantastic Jacksonville location is on Monument Road. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline here. We love being at the Haight. It's a gorgeous day here. It's one of the best college golf tournaments really in the country. And it's great again this year. I'll tell you about the teams in a minute. But my friend Nick Morrow is the AD at UNF. Joins us now. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out every year for the past, I think, 4 years now running. You've been out here at the Haight.
And look how gorgeous this is.
Oh, man,
I mean,
so
this,
good.
I mean, this is really gorgeous. And and by the way, I know you texted me on Saturday afternoon. And I apologize for not seeing the text. So thank you for reaching out. But I apologize that I wasn't being rude.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Well, Hayes, you just missed. I was like, now it makes so much sense why I texted you at 3:00 and I got nothing back for 2 days.
I had no idea.
Right.
I still didn't know. But let me tell you,
pretty good excuse.
Yeah. Bobby Kennan's going to be your coach moving forward.
Yeah.
I think you got it right. I'm not saying this, and I would tell you if I didn't. I've done this long enough that I don't have to say what I don't think. But I mean, I really believe the effort he put into it, the challenge he faced going in. You and I had this talk a lot before. So you tell me what went into the decision to keep Bobby Kennan as your basketball coach.
Yeah, it was a difficult decision. I'm not going to lie. I mean, we had one of the worst seasons we've had in Division I, and things didn't go our way. But we don't evaluate just on a short-term reaction on a wins and losses. We take a more holistic review on all of our programs when we look at it. Because if is it a systemic issue? It's a coaching issue? Is it a roster issue? Like, what led to that? And and so when we really were evaluating and talking about it, this wasn't just like a 1 week decision. Like, this has been months that we've been communicating, Bobby and I communicating with people close to the program. All those things have been going on and on for a couple months now. And yeah, he was put in a tough spot. Coach Driscoll built the roster, then walked away. So he inherited this roster. And while he had some influence over it, it wasn't his decision. We all know Coach Driscoll, most amazing human being ever, but he also controlled a lot of how that program run.
As the head coach is supposed to.
Yeah.
Right.
And so Bobby inherited this group. He showed up to the gym and he was consistent every day in how he did it. The team played hard the entire season, even down to the final game in the tournament. We were down 23 and clawed all the way back to a 4-point game. The refs missed a timeout, stepped onto the court, little situation that could have gave us the ball back and cut it to one possession with less than a minute left. So there's so many, little things that could have happened throughout the year. He had 2 key injuries. Likely our starting point guard and our 7-footer were out all year. And so there's a lot of factors that went into it. But at the end of the day, that he came with the same attitude, same consistency. The team didn't quit on him. His coaching staff did not quit on the team. And when you start looking at all that, okay, we could still make a change because the record wasn't what we wanted. I could bring somebody else new and give them all these new resources. Or do we take a guy we know who runs the program with integrity, accountability, developing the student athletes, everything an AD would want out of a coach, Bobby is. So why don't we give him the resources and give him the opportunity to go build this championship program?
Tell us about those resources.
Yeah, so I mean, operating budget we've been working on for the past couple of years and really got him in a solid position. The coaching salary pool is in the top half of our conference. We're in a good spot there now. Now the biggest piece is obviously the NIL revenue share, which we haven't been heavily involved in. We've been the lowest in our conference, so now we will instantly jump up to the top half of our conference. And so now we're in the game, and we have things at UNF you can't buy. I mean, look where we're at right now. Like, we're 7 miles from the beach, across from the town center, a thriving community with tons of professional opportunities. We're in Florida. Like, there's so many things going for us that you can't buy. So let's invest in the things you can and couple that together and really take this thing to the next level.
No state income tax,
Yeah.
which I would imagine, like, we talk about it with multimillionaires, but I would think that means a lot too. I mean, if it's 50,000, you know what I mean? I would think that's a big plus.
Of course. And then there's some states right now that are exempting NIL deals from state income taxes just to not lose that competitive edge. Obviously, a lot in SEC country states.
Yeah,
but
Mississippi.
Yes. Yeah. And so they're doing that right now, and that's a good point. Yeah.
Back to Bobby for a second. And I like this. We all knew this was an audition. It was going to be an audition for Bobby Cannon. Okay. It was an audition. It was a chance for you as his boss to watch him. But the audition clearly meant more than how many times you win the game. UNF wasn't going to win a lot of games this year. The reality is you had no money in revenue share. He inherited somebody. You just made this point. The point you just made. So I think you were able to watch him, and you talked about some of the things you saw, the elements you saw. But that's pretty cool. How have people responded? How have your boosters responded? How have your players? I already saw Cameron Orioles' comments, in Ryan O'Halloran's column. Ryan O'Halloran wrote from the Times-Union that before you had decided that he hoped you kept Bobby Cannon because Bobby deserves another chance. I felt that way. A lot of us in the media did. What kind of response have you gotten?
Yeah, it's been, I didn't make this decision in a silo. Like, I have a boss. And so, I chatted with her on my plan, chatted with board of trustee members, chatted with foundation board members, my senior staff, really like, this are my thoughts. What do you guys think? And really talked it out. And everybody's been supportive. And then the response after the fact has been overwhelmingly positive towards Bobby. There's going to be haters out there.
Right.
Every decisions we make and different, there are haters on your 6-iron on your hole in one, right? So there's always going to be, be.
How dare you hit that club?
That's right. But you're right. I mean, when you're in a front-facing position, you're going to get negative comments. There's no question about it.
But none of those haters are coming from within close to the program too. Like, people that are close and realize what they see and realize the challenges that we've had and what we're doing to change it. Now, let's eliminate the excuses and let's go after a championship. That team's going to look different. The staff's going to look, the program is going to look different next year. It will look different. And that's what Bobby and I have had a lot of those conversations. And I'm excited now. Let's go build this.
Let me ask you, since you said the team's going to look different, the staff's going to look different, and the players are going to look different, tell me about the process. You got to be very active in the portal, right? I mean, there's no, in this day and age, he did a good job in recruiting, but you have to be active in the portal. I assume it's go, man, go now, right?
Yeah, sense of urgency for sure. Portal doesn't open up until after the Final Four.
Correct.
But we got to work on retaining the players that we want off our roster. So that's priority number one. Let's go in and build around a core group. And then out there recruiting, we got 3 freshmen that have already been signed in the early signing period that are coming, including a 6'10" kid out of Miami, 6'7", 6'8" kid out of Wing. So we've got some good pieces coming in there. We've got to beat on a couple of JUCOs. Now we go in the portal and fill those pieces that we need. And now we've got funds to go do that and make it an attractive destination for them. And so that'll be the recruiting process. And it will be quick because the portal window has shortened and it'll be everybody goes once that hits. And so doing your homework on who may be entering the portal and know what you need and what you're looking for so that you can quickly make a move is extremely important. And Bobby gets that. That's why he's head coach, because I know he has that sense of urgency and he knows what he needs to do.
Hopefully Bobby will be your coach for 20 more years. But in this process, were you surprised at all at feelers from other coaches, other camps of other coaches about the interest if the job had opened up? And does that make you feel better about how the job is perceived nationally?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I was very impressed with some of the outreach that took place. I told Bobby, and I said it in the press conference in May when Driscoll said he was leaving, that I wasn't going to talk to anybody until we were well into conference play, and then we would evaluate where we're at. So I didn't have a single conversation until early February. And I was honest with Bobby, and I had some conversation with potential candidates and what that looked like. And it's an impressive list. We would have been very attractive job, and we would have had some good opportunities to bring in experience. But at the end of the day, there's always that unknown. Is that going to translate at UNF? What does that look like? And so, it's UNF in general has grown to a point that anytime we have a job opening, it's attractive. When I first took over, hired a beach volleyball coach and a softball coach in my first year, and the candidate pool honestly was pretty slim. Not a lot. Now, the two people I hired both went on to win multiple conference championships, so I feel pretty good about that. But the candidate pool was not very deep. I just had an indoor volleyball spot that opened up, and the amount of people that reached out and wanting that job, 4 years later, it was really impressive. And that's who we are now, because people recognize who UNF is and how we're our location and how we're thriving and growing. And there's so much momentum behind us that I think we're grabbing more and more national attention, which is fantastic.
Before I let you go, I want to get into the hate a little bit. 11 teams ranked in the top 50 in America. 11 of the top 50 are here. 8 teams ranked in the top 21. 8 of the 20. So almost half that list is here. Why has this tournament been so magnificent? Why do people respond to it? Because the college golf world raves about this thing. Why is it so good, Nick?
Yeah, it's one of and that was our goal, is to get this to, not just a top 10 collegiate event in the country, but a top 5. And we had a group of alumni and people close to the program, originally led by John Brooks, the head coach before Coach Schroeder. And then we've got a group of alumni that has taken this over and taken ownership. And let's make this great and honor John Haidt at the same time. Yeah. That's hand in hand. And so we turned this into a 3 rounds of 18, when a lot of collegiate golf tournaments, including this one for a while, was 36 and then 18. We did it leading into the players. And so all these guys get tickets to go to the round tomorrow. That's a selling point. They're playing on an amazing golf course that hosts Q School, selling point. And we build a lot of activities and amenities around it. Last night we had coaches dinner at the Glen Kernan. Tonight they'll go to the Sawgrass Country Club Beach Club for our beach bash. Some of the guys that are playing in TPC that used to play at those schools will come out and interact with them. There's just so much more built around it. The group has done an amazing job. Coach Schroeder's done an amazing job. John Haidt is known throughout the entire collegiate golf community and what he's done for the game. And so we're just going to keep building up. And yeah, you read off how many people. And it was a good finish, too. I mean, it looks like Auburn might hold on by 1 stroke over Texas Tech. Auburn number 2 in the country, Virginia number 1 in the country, both in it, and you can list all the big boys were in it. And so, yeah, really impressive group of golfers out here.
Give us an update on baseball and the other sports that are participating right now.
Yeah, we're in conference play now. Conference play kicks off, this weekend, and that's exciting because then you really get a feel about where you're at and what your team's going to be able to do. Softball's crushing. I don't even know how many wins. They're coming up on 30 wins already. Really we haven't gotten to conference play, and so they're the heavy favorite in our conference, and we host a conference tournament this year, so people need to come out and support them in May as they go for another championship. Baseball's off to a solid start. They had to go to Alabama this past weekend. They're good. They're like 7th in the country, I think, something like that.
Team. Top 10 team.
They're pretty solid, but they're off to a good start. They won the 3-weekend series before that, so they're a good position now going to conference play. Women's tennis is undefeated right now in top 50 in the country, and that's the best start ever. And men's tennis is also ranked, and so in indoor track, both men and women finished runner-up in the ASUN championships. Best finish ever. And so a lot of our sports are really thriving. Beach volleyball is top 20 again. So, yeah, you come out to campus, there's a ton of activity. We've got high school basketball championships coming. That's where I'm going next. Bulls girls and Jackson boys play tonight. And Sporting Jacks, their inaugural game was on campus on Saturday. Like, there is so much happening on campus. I'm just trying to keep my staff's head above water and happy.
And you still know your family, right? They recognize you when you come in, okay? You're a busy guy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Nick Morrow, the AD at UNF, one of the good guys, and congratulations again on the hire. I think you got it right, and you got so much good going on at UNF, including this hate. Thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Back in a moment. This is 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios, polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Picket here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served up by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Bono's has been serving Jacksonville's best barbecue for over 75 years. And now, catch this. Bono's new limited time offer features an Atlantic fried cod platter with 2 pieces of mouth-watering fried cod and 1 southern side for $15.49, or a fried cod sandwich with 1 southern side for $12.99. You can't beat that deal. And after 1 bite, you'll be hooked. So you better hurry in. The fried cod platter right now at Bono's. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
If your lawn took a beating this winter, listen up. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They've just started the first of 3 rounds of premium granular fertilizer. No cheap liquid fertilizer here. Custom blended for Northeast Florida lawns. Their certified technicians apply slow-release nutrients. Rebuild your lawn thick, strong, and green over time. Plus, they protect your home from pests and termites. Call Julington Creek Pest Control today. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
I'm Frank Frangie. Life-changing is an understatement for the 180 I've seen with my daughter Amber. She's now lost over 100 pounds with Awaken 180 in just 9 months. A true 180. Not just on the scale either, in her energy, her confidence, the way she lives. And what I love about Awaken 180 is we knew it would work. It wasn't a hope. It wasn't a guess that maybe it'll work. Amber started the programming knowing this was going to be her solution. Now, you've heard stories from our hosts and clients and probably people you know personally who've reclaimed their life thanks to Awaken 180. It works for the person who needs to lose 25 pounds. It worked for Matt Hayes, who wanted to lose 40. It worked for Hacker, who's lost more than 120 pounds. And it's worked for Amber, who's well over 100. That's why I believe in it. Whatever your scale number is, call the number that will work for you. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. Once again, that number is 844-346-1800 or you can reach them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Football may be over, but with Hard Rock Bet, there's always something to bet on every night. Hoop, hockey, and so much more. This is Joe C. Don't forget, new signups can double their winnings on their first 10 bets with a max of $50 bets. That's right, your winnings are doubled on your first 10 bets. If you would have won $100, your bet would make $200. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today. It's all waiting for you. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service,
Instant Keys comes to you. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
And we sure appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. We always do. They do a fantastic job. My friend Jamie Shelton and all the folks over there at the Best Bet, about as good as it gets. I can promise you that. Clockwork Cash Out continues this weekend, by the way, at all those Best Bet locations, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The table games, $500 giveaways every 30 minutes from 6 to midnight. That is at all three locations, St. Augustine, Orange Park, and here in Jacksonville. Again, we're live at the Haight. A lot of golf talk. Scott Schroeder's going to stop by in just a minute. One of the best college golf tournaments in the country, year in and year out. 8 of the top 21 teams, including the first and second ranked teams in the country, are here. So great college golf if you love golf. No question about that. We'll be out at the Players tomorrow. We'll continue to update you on free agency. Today's the legal tampering day. We already told you about Montaric, Brown, and Dennis Gardeck are staying. Travis Etienne headed to New Orleans. We'll continue to talk about that as we go. One quick note before we go to a break and come back and have headlines. Todd Golden, the SEC Coach of the Year. How in the world could it have not been him? I know there's talk about Bucky McMillan at A&M. With all due respect, there's no way it couldn't have been Golden. They're 16-2 in the league after replacing 3 NBA players. They dominated the league. I mean, they took the league to the woodshed. They had a loss at Missouri to start the season. They were asleep at the wheel, one home game against Auburn. The rest of the time, they didn't just win the rest of the games. They blew everybody out the rest of the games. That was an easy one. Thomas Houck, first team. Ruben Chinyelu, second team. Alex Conda was on the third team. Urban Klavjar was the sixth man of the year. They dominated the award. They dominated the league. Very fitting.
Absolutely. And Chinyelu was SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Looking at Golden was the one I was curious about because I mean, Billy Donovan didn't win SEC Coach of the Year for many, many years at Florida. So that's a vote that sometimes goes the wrong way. And McMillan certainly had a ton of support in the first half. But I looked at, so Texas A&M finished 11-7 this year in league play. I looked at it last year. They were 11-7 in league play.
Right.
So let's not make it out to be that Bucky McMillan took some, bottom feeder and turned them into a great team. They had the exact same record last year. So I was glad the voters got it right. And Todd Golden more than deserving to be Coach of the Year.
When I finally got to watch Florida, Kentucky, a day late, I thought they're so much better. Now, I thought they got a little complacent, as Todd Golden talked about in the last 7-8 minutes. Let's just end the game, and we have won, and let's get to the SEC tournament. A little bit of that killer instinct was gone. But I'll say this, and I tweeted this afterwards after finally watching it. I think they've solved, to a point, they've solved the shooting problem. It's better. It's not great, but it's better. They're big and physical. I've been saying this to you for 3 weeks. People underestimate how fast they are, how fast those guards are. And the thing that stood out to me as much as anything, man, they still have a chip on their shoulder. You know who's good defensively? Teams, angry teams. You can be good offensively and not be an angry team. You just run up and down court. You got a bunch of great shooters and slashers. But if you're good on defense, well, that means you're playing angry. I think that's the thing that's been lost about this Gator team, and that's what really stood out to me on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, look, Kentucky probably didn't recruit any of those guys, and that's always going to be a motivating source, no matter what your career has been at Florida, and they certainly played that way. It was a weird game in terms of a lot of things that went wrong in those final minutes, and certainly Florida was culpable for some of that. Free throws were an issue. Ball protection was an issue. Shot selection was an issue in those final minutes. But look, we talked about it on Friday. Florida had won at Rupp Arena 12 times in their lifetime. You don't complain about a 7-point road win at Kentucky under any circumstances, particularly when Kentucky never led.
Right.
I mean, it was 11-0 is like 2 minutes into the game. And, Florida didn't beat them by 30. But it was still a very convincing, fantastic win for Todd Golden and his team, and they've got all the momentum now as we head to the postseason.
We'll take a break at the Haight. When we come back, Hayes has headlines. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Turn on your radio. We'll bring the game to you.
Here we go. 4th and a yard.
Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio. 1010 XL.
All right, Jacksonville, spring has officially arrived when the pollen's flying, the grass is growing, and your septic system starts thinking about getting your attention. Trust me, a simple pump out now can save you from a disaster that'll have the whole neighborhood holding their noses. That's why you call Duck Duck Rooter the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. Real pros, not somebody guessing with a shovel. Right now, schedule your spring septic clean and get $50 off septic tank pumping. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Northeast Florida isn't just where we work. It's our home.
I'm Chris Campione, and when an accident turns your life upside down, you need a law firm that truly understands this community. At Campione Law, we treat our clients like neighbors, not case numbers, and you don't pay a dime unless we recover for you. From semi-truck accidents to medical malpractice and even workers' compensation, we handle it all. Visit CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Count on Campione Law. Speed, toughness, and talent are on the market.
Joe's a heck of a player.
Track every free agent pursuit with 1010XL and superior fence and rail.
And make no mistake about it, gentlemen.
The offseason rolls on with AA Automotive.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnickChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Homeowners, you taking a look at your lawn yet? Let me guess, you're looking at your lawn wondering what to do after a historically cold season. Well, if you want your lawn to bounce back quick, you gotta call topdressing.com. Nobody else can do what they do. Their proprietary process. I've never seen anything like it, and neither will your neighbors. They will have your lawn looking like a golf course. Nobody else can do it. They're no secret now, so get ahead of it. Call for a free estimate. Be the envy of your neighbors. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
Pickett here. Restore comfort and confidence with oculoplastic specialist Mary Kate Wilson, MD, at the Eye Associates, Jacksonville's expert in oculofacial plastic and reconstructive care. Dr. Wilson specializes in eyelid surgery, cosmetic and reconstructive procedures, and treatments, always with a personalized approach. Now seeing patients at the Beaches, Southside, and St. John's locations. To schedule your consultation with Dr. Wilson, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate's mascot and brand ambassador.
Why do you even talk in these ads?
People see me on the trucks, Brendan, so they expect to hear from me as well.
But I have over a decade's experience personally installing high-quality polymer floors right here in Jacksonville.
Well, I'm a professional mascot, riding around on the side of your trucks, smiling at passers-by.
Then could you at least tell people about our 2-stage polymer application process? Give your garage the finishing touch with a gorgeous floor that's guaranteed to last?
A bit busy posing for selfies, I'm afraid.
Years of experience?
Check. Adorable mascot?
Check. The team you need to make your garage gorgeous? Checkmate! Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate. Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
Frank Frangie here, and Big Chief Tire makes it easier than ever to get the tires you need with the Big Chief credit card. No annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, and right now, $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and get the tires you need today. That's Big Chief Tire.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. I am Hayes Carline. Tom Champion helping us out here at the Haight. We're having a great time here at Sawgrass And RJ Saunders running the show back at World Headquarters. We certainly appreciate RJ's efforts. JJ will be back tomorrow with us. Frank, let's start with the Jaguars. The Jags re-signed cornerback Montaric Brown on a 3-year, $33 million deal, as well as re-signing linebacker Dennis Gardeck. Good day for the Jags.
Yeah, it really was a good day. And again, it's not big-name guys in the NFL world all around, but two very important parts of that Jaguar defense that was so good. Such a big part of that 13-4 season was that great defense. And Montaric Brown both guys really important. Montaric Brown, when the word got out that he was going to get maybe $12 million a year, I didn't know if the Jags would be able to keep him, but I know how badly they wanted to, and he wanted to be back. So those are two good ones for the Jags. I'm very happy with the way that they played out so far for the Jags.
Travis Etienne signing with the New Orleans Saints on a 4-year, $52 million contract.
Got $13 a year. The Jags probably weren't going there. A lot of teams aren't. The Saints are going to bring him home. He's from Louisiana. I'm thrilled for him. I'm glad he's in the NFC so I can root for him. I hope he does well. The Jags weren't going to go there. So now running back becomes a position of interest. If Bashal Tutin's running back 1, if LaQuinn Allen is your third down back, but I don't know if he's running back 2. So, yeah, that's a position that's going to get some attention in the offseason for sure.
Let's get into around the NFL. Big news over the weekend. The Ravens give up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby. Does this make the Ravens a contender?
Yes, I don't think there's any question. I also think, too, I get the sense, now, again, anytime you got a new coach, and the coach you've had, our coach has been there for 2 decades before that, you never know how the team's going to respond. So it's hard to know. But, yeah, having said all that, I think Lamar Jackson's got a little something left. They didn't have any stars on the Ravens became great because of stars on defense, because of Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and some of those good pass rushers. They became great because of stars. They ran out of stars on defense, Hayes. All of a sudden, that's a team that didn't have one, so they got one back here. Yes, I think that makes the Ravens pretty good.
Alec Pierce re-signs with the Colts on a 4-year, $116 million deal. The Colts then traded receiver Michael Pittman to the Steelers.
Pierce is one of the really good players that people don't know enough about. He's so fast. He's a stretch-the-field guy. What he wants and they want from him is to be a more complete guy. Pittman has still been their go-to guy. So I'm not surprised that the same day they extend Alec Pierce and they find a way to keep him, I should say, they move on from Pittman. Pittman is, whoever the quarterback's been, and god dang, it's been a different guy every year. They've always relied on Pittman. 3rd and 7, you throw an 11-yard pass to Michael Pittman. I think that becomes Pierce now, and he also is a great stretch-to-field guy. We've seen here in Jacksonville how fast he is, so that was a good move for the Colts. It really was.
The Chiefs will sign running back Kenneth Walker to a 3-year, $43 million deal.
Not shocked. I thought he really came on. When you play on the Super Bowl champs, everybody watches you, right? And I thought in the postseason he was very good. The Chiefs need to be more explosive. That will help them. It will.
Staying in Kansas City, Travis Kelce is returning to the Chiefs for a 14th season.
I wasn't surprised. Were you surprised by that?
No.
I think all along he was going to. In the NFL, we say it all the time. When you have to retire, an old football player is a young man. And so this is a guy that why not play? Travis Kelce isn't the best tight end in football anymore. He's still pretty good, though. He's still a pretty good player. I'd be surprised if he didn't play. I'm not shocked at all.
The Dolphins have cut Tua. Miami takes on $99 million in dead money by starting over at the position. As a post-June 1 designation release, Miami will absorb $67 million dead money this year and $32 million next season. Miami acted fast, signing Malik Willis to a 3-year, $67.5 million deal.
I saw a great stat today. In Miami, the Florida Marlins or the Miami Marlins, their total payroll is $68 million. The Dolphins' dead money to Tua is $99 million. Digest that for a second. The Marlins' payroll is $68. The Dolphins' dead hit for Tua is $99, and he's not going to be on the team.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. Mike Evans to the 49ers.
Surprised me a little bit. Mike Evans wanted to keep playing. He was going to get a bunch of money, probably more money than the Bucs were going to wind up paying. And listen, the 49ers we said this at the top of the program, they have a really good team who's the 3rd best team in their division. So they've got to make some moves. I'm not surprised by that. He's a veteran. He will help. He will help that passing game. He really will. They've had some funky stuff happen with their passing game. You know that they've lost some guys who had been big factors in their growth over the last 4 or 5 years. So he will help the cause.
The Titans signing defensive lineman Jonathan Franklin Myers. He was somebody that we had talked about as a potential Jaguar.
He'll be a good player. Mike Morganzi's going to get busy there. At some point, he's not going to settle for them being lousy because they've been lousy for a few years. If Cam Ward develops, Hayes, in the next 2 or 3 years, the Titans will be back in the game. They haven't been in a while.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We will get you out on our musical note of the day. Today marks the 39th anniversary of U2 releasing its 5th studio album, The Joshua Tree. The classic is one of the most successful albums of all time, selling over 25 million copies and was widely praised by critics. This is Where the Streets Have No Name.
Probably, we've said this before, of all bands that did not really catch fire until the 90s. I know they launched in the 80s, but I consider them a 90s band. So of all the 90s bands, they have no peers. The greatest rock band that came into prominence in the 90s and later. I don't think there's any question about it. We'll take a break. When we come back, Scott Schroeder will join us. He is the UNF golf coach. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
My think tank now has a little something in the pipeline. It's an idea we like to call
1010XL. When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
The new Ackerman Cancer Center is now open at World Golf Village, providing state-of-the-art screenings and diagnostic exams with no referral required. Same-day appointments are available. Call today or visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Hall & Sons Plumbing. Former Florida Gator and PGA Tour rookie Ricky Castillo won his first PGA Tour event at this weekend's Puerto Rican Open with a score of 17 under. The SEC basketball tournament tipped off in Nashville on Wednesday, but the Gators will take the floor until Friday at 1 p.m. thanks to owning the #1 seed in the tournament. It's 85 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
And we welcome you back. We sure thank our friends from the Best Bet with 3 great locations all over town, all kind of fun stuff always going on at the Best Bet. So head to the Best Bet if you get an opportunity to. Weekend winnings, by the way, at all those Best Bet locations. $500 first 30 minutes, $1,000 the second 30 minutes, noon to midnight, Fridays and Saturdays at all 3 of those locations. Frank, Hayes, Carlin, pleasure welcoming my buddy Scott Schroeder, who is the golf coach at UNF. How are you, man?
Good, buddy. How are you?
This is fantastic. This event. I tell people all the time, college, if you appreciate college golf, it's one of the 4 or 5 best events in the country. How did it all come about? I asked Nick a little bit about it, but how did this thing grow into this?
Well, I mean, I think in the early 2000s, it was this, and then it took a couple steps back, just how things change. And then about 3 years ago, we decided to make a push to try to line it up with the Players' Championship.
Okay.
And, with the teams being able to come in town, play here, I think Ludwig was out here watching Texas Tech play. So you get some tour players that are out here watching their schools play, and then they get to go watch those guys play a practice round tomorrow. It makes it a pretty cool experience. And then obviously Sawgrass Country Club's a really good golf course.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the field is incredibly deep as always. Give us some details on the quality of golf being played out here.
Yeah, we had the #1 team in the country here, Virginia. They didn't have their best week. I think they finished 5th or 6th. They had a pretty poor day yesterday for them. And then you have Auburn, who's 2 in the country. LSU's like 5. If Texas Tech's like 6, or like 10. But even more importantly, you had Jackson Coyven, who's basically going to be on the PGA Tour next year. You had Ben James, who's basically going to be on the PGA Tour next year. He should be Jackson got it through the accelerated program, and Ben's going to get it as a senior this year, most likely, unless something weird happens the rest of the year. So, and Jackson finishes 11 to win this week, and then Ben finishes, I think, 4th at 9 under par. So that's pretty good golf.
Scott, explain to people listening now, because people listening are everyday just hack golfers like me and most normal people. How good are these guys? I mean, what do they carry? They carry +2s, +3s, +5s.
Yeah, no, you're dealing with, if they're going and playing on their normal golf course, they're probably +5 or 6.
+5. I mean, people don't understand how good these are. Great players. That's how good golf is.
Yes,
it's how hard it is. I've told you a story about a family friend of ours that they're such a good player and didn't even try to qualify because it's just so hard. Yeah. So they don't understand how good these guys are.
And I think the other thing that you don't realize is, like, physically, I mean, they're not. I mean, the difference from them and the guys that are playing across the street is really small.
Yeah.
Now, mentally, those guys across the street are a little bit better, but like physically, how far they hit it and some of that stuff, there's very, very little difference.
Tell us about your team.
we're struggling a little bit. Not our best week. Danny Erickson, Ponte Vedra product, had maybe his best week. He was probably 2 swings from finishing about 8 under.
Right.
I think he finished at 3 under for the tournament, but 2 swings got him, 1 in the first round and 1 in yesterday's round. But he's making nice progress, and more importantly, he's making comments that sound like he's making nice progress. Another freshman that actually played as an individual, had a nice week for him. Is only his 4th event, finished maybe 2 under for the tournament, something along that. Diego Alvarez Perez. I struggle with when you go 3 names on me. And then the rest of the guys, we've had some good and some bad all week, and that's been a little bit of what we've had all semester. So we're grinding and trying to get a little bit better, and that's pretty much all you can control in this game, because when it's hard sometimes.
So again, the perspective, Danny Erickson shot 4 under today, was 3 under for the tournament. 3 under. It's Sawgrass. You play East-West, right? Sawgrass East-West. But if you know golf locally, it's a really hard freaking golf course. Okay. He's 3 under for the tournament. Finished 27th. I mean that if you want an idea of how good these college golfers are, and people that know golf in our city have played this thing.
Yep.
Okay. It's really hard.
Yep.
It's hard as hell.
Yep.
And 3 under doesn't get you in the top 25.
We obviously the good weather helped make the scoring a little better than it's been, because we've had, obviously we all know in Jacksonville we can get some windy days.
Right.
But it's just the ball goes so far now, and there's really no defense with when there's no wind out here, there's no defense, so you're going to see a lot of good scores.
What goes into inviting the schools, and do you have to turn schools away?
Yeah, you're going to turn some way. So a lot of it's the relationships I've built over 20 years of coaching. So you get guys that I'm friends with within the SEC, ACC. Our goal is to build a high quality field. I think we had 11 teams ranked in the top 50, and then there's a couple schools that we play in their events. So like next week we go to Coastal Carolina's event, so that's how they get in the field. We go play in their event, they come play in our event. The goal each year is to try to get 10 to 12 of the best schools in the country, and then we got to do some business maybe with those last couple schools.
Scott, how have you built this? For people that don't follow it closely, whether you're struggling a little bit this year or not, UNF's one of the best mid-major programs in the country. Year in and year out, you qualify for the NCAA. How were you able to build that? And mid-major's hard, man, because you're recruiting against Florida and Auburn and everybody. How have you built that?
Yeah, I think it's just you're trying to find the right type of kid that fits and works with me and our program and our school, because there's so many variables there, and that's what we're trying to pivot now with the new world that we're in, right? And at the end of the day, the new NIL world, and trying to find kids within that. And I need a certain type of kid. I tell them in the recruiting process, a little bit of a golf nerdy type kid that really wants golf.
Yeah.
I need kids that wake up every day and their priority is to play golf, because these kids will stand out here forever.
Yeah.
So if you don't get ones that are willing to do that, and then the other kid's already better, you're never going to catch up.
Is NIL involved in golf?
Oh yeah.
Golf's getting us.
Oh yeah. It exists. It's not as much. Not as much as some, but I know there's kids that most of the schools are going to make $20,000 to $30,000.
Really?
Yeah.
About that? I had no idea.
That is incredible.
Well, and then you take you got Miles Russells and the Charlie Woods, and then some of them.
Yeah.
I don't notice as much as people are reporting, but the money goes up even more, obviously.
For the two people that Scott's talking about, Charlie Woods, of course, is Tiger's kid. Miles Russell's is a kid from Jacksonville. We all know who Miles is. He's left-handed. He's a little guy that hits it 12 miles.
Yep.
He's a
tour player.
He's
a tour player.
He's a tour player. And it's amazing. I can tell you, Miles, right?
Yep.
Miles, I think he plays out of Atlantic Beach now, but he played out of our course for a while.
Yeah, when he's a young kid, he's at Jack's Golf with you all.
And he's chipping. He's the nicest, most respectful. And I'm thinking, this is before he drove. Okay, before he was old enough to have a driver's license. This little guy, who's the nicest kid in the world. This little guy, who his mom had to drop him off to hit balls, and is gonna, by the way, drive at 325 and beat the hell out of anybody at the club, and he doesn't have a driver's license yet. Think about it.
You're pretty accurate.
Isn't that pretty amazing?
Yeah.
It really is.
Is this still in general beyond Miles? Is this still a very fertile recruiting ground?
Yeah, there's a lot of kids here. I think if you look at the last 10 years, there's been so many kids that have gone on to schools, whether they've come and played for me and we've had some success, or they've gone to Florida, Florida State, even some other countries, schools around the country. You're always going to have some. There's going to be ebb and flows, right? That's just anything. Maybe the COVID years weren't as good, oddly enough.
Yeah.
I think the older kids during COVID didn't do as much golf as they maybe got in trouble. But in reality, this is an area that's always going to produce a lot of good golfers.
If you have final thing or two, I know you got a busy schedule, but if you have, Scott, in today's day and age, I have this conversation with baseball coaches all the time. If you were going to make it, you're pretty much playing junior golf really young, right?
Yeah,
is that a myth?
I think I still fall on the side of like if you wake up one day at 15 and you decide to get serious, I think you still got a chance.
Really?
I really do.
That's good to hear, because I wouldn't have guessed that.
I really do. I think if it's the right kid. I mean, obviously the kid's going to have to go to work. He's got to catch up.
Yeah.
But if you're a good athlete, and because like you're not going to have some scar tissue. You know, this game provides scar tissue.
Yeah.
And there's lots of players that are really good at 17 that get some scar tissue at 18 or 19 and never come back. So like starting late can be okay, but you probably need to be a really elite athlete. You got to be a really good athlete.
You've had tons of great players come through your program. Is there anybody you can give us an update on what they're doing?
Well, we had something that was pretty cool. It was last week we had 5 guys play in the Corn Ferry event down in Argentina, and then 5 guys play in Chile. Nick Gavrelchik's down there. He's made some cuts. I think he's like 50 or so on the points list. Robbie Higgins made his first cut. I think Nick Infante made his first cut. Let's see who else. Philip Knowles is down playing on the Corn Ferry after having been on the tour. And I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? I don't even know. I'm missing somebody, but we're doing pretty good though. Like, I think that's the thing about it, as a non-Power 5 school to have 5 guys of 144 playing in an event's pretty cool.
I tell you this. I told you this story before. A few years ago, I played in the pro-am out here. I think, or is it maybe
College Am? Yeah, we do college Am.
And I played. You let one of the players play with us all the time, and I don't get to play with tour players, so I don't. But we just play with good players. But Nick Gavrelchik played with us. I've told Scott this story, and Hayes, I probably told you this story, but for listeners that didn't hear it, Nick Gavrelchik played with us out here, and I remember thinking when it was over, I'm thinking, okay, I know the tour guys are the best guys in the world, but if this guy couldn't play with those guys, I don't know who can. Do you remember that day, 3 years ago? Hayes, I've never seen anything like it. And I'm like, this is a college guy that hopes to be on the tour one year. That's how good they are.
Yeah, I mean, he finished 4th on PGA Tour U, I think it was that year. I mean, just a matter of playing good at the right times and getting comfortable out in that environment. It's like baseball. You're the baseball guy, so like it's like the AA guy has to get better at AAA, and then hopefully when he makes the jump to the majors, he doesn't get too much scar tissue. And can get it rolling.
You know what I noticed about Nick that year too is he kind of didn't mind playing with all of us.
Nope.
Now Duke Butler's playing, and some other really good players are playing, but some were my level. Okay, they weren't all Duke in his level. Do you find that these guys like that? They understand that most guys don't play like them.
Yes. Yeah, I think in general, most of these kids understand that that's part of the role is playing with others because it can help you in life. It can help you in business. It's just part of what your job as a golfer and an ambassador of growing the game.
All right. Well, Scott Schroeder is the terrific golf coach here at UNF. Enjoy your time. I know you're going to go out to the tournament tomorrow, and then you're gone like forever. Is that what
sounds about right? I'm going to take all spring break and travel with men's and women's golf, so it'll be good.
Scott, thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Back in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL covers the Players' Championship start to finish. Track your favorite golfers and get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates. Teed up by Green Acres Sporting Goods, Performance Painting, and Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
All right, Jacksonville, Florida summer doesn't ease in. It shows up angry. One day you're fine, the next day your AC is fighting for its life. If your unit barely survived last year, don't push your luck. Make the smart move now. Call Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Honest pricing, no surprise markups. With the Beat the Heat early special, you can save $500 off a new AC system. Don't wait till it's 98 degrees and everyone's scrambling. Call for your free in-home estimate today. 904-862-6769 or duckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
listening that fits your schedule perfectly.
Absolutely brilliant. Go on demand.
Ad-free shows after the live shows end.
How about that? Channel box.
Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Homeowners, ready to open your home to spring and shut out high energy bills? It's 31 days of spring savings with Renewal by Andersen. Right now, buy 2 windows or doors and get the third 60% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. But this offer expires March 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail. Frank Frangie here from my bank, South State Bank. South State has been committed to delivering world-class customer service that businesses like yours and mine can count on. From personalized support to cutting-edge banking solutions, South State Bank has blended the trusted traditions we all value with the innovation you need for tomorrow. Whether you're managing cash flow or investing in growth, South State Bank is here to help you move forward. Visit southstatebank.com or visit your local branch today. That's South State, member FDIC.
This is Paige, owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. People ask me all the time what's healthy. And that's hard because healthy is different from losing weight. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. There are a lot of foods out there that are healthy foods, but they're not going to support your weight loss. And that's what we're here to help with. We're here to help you get in the healthy foods that are going to help you lose weight. The Awaken 180 difference is our coaches. It's our team. You can find things online about weight loss, but you try them yourself and they just don't work. And that's because everyone is different. And that's what our coaches are so skilled at helping you figure out.
Thanks, Paige. Hacker here. Figuring it out? That's what I needed. And the reason I chose Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Not a med, not a diet plan. I wanted a solution. Do what I did and make a 180 with your health and weight. Schedule your Awaken 180 consultation today. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
The price of gold is soaring, and the price of silver is near record highs. If you've got gold or silver just laying around, Estates Roadshow wants it. Broken chains, old rings, coins, watches, diamonds, vintage jewelry. If it's valuable, they're buying it. No appointment needed. Just walk in, get a free appraisal, and walk out with cash. They're also buying pre-1964 silver coins, flatware, sterling silverware stamped 925. They're buying coin collections, gold, silver, foreign, and domestic. Plus, they've been in business over 35 years with thousands of prior happy customers. Licensed, bonded, state-certified scales, highest tech equipment, employees with GIA certifications. Begin gathering your valuables because the Estates Roadshow is coming back to the First Coast, March 16th through March 20th. St. Augustine at World Golf Renaissance and Palm Coast at the Holiday Inn Express. For more information, call Marshall at 609-781-6559 or go to estatesroadshow.com and follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook to see all upcoming events.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We sure appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. We tell you all about it now. Once again, Clockwork Cash Out continues this weekend at all 3 locations. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the table games, $500 giveaways every 30 minutes from 6 to midnight. That's Best Bet St. Augustine, right off of 95. Best Bet Orange Park on US 17, and, of course, Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument Road. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline here with you on this Monday, brought to you by the Best Bet. Boy, it's been a busy day. We've been at the Haight. We're live out here still at Sawgrass. We'll wrap the program out here. The golf is over for today, and again, 2 of the best teams in the country. Number 1 Virginia, number 2 Auburn played among the teams here. 11 of the top 50, 8 of the top 21 here. So it's one of the best college golf tournaments in the country, and it's fitting that it's one day or a couple days before one of the best golf tournaments in the world takes place right in this same part of town. So that is a very, very cool thing. So we're happy to be be out here. A lot of things to talk about today. We've talked so much golf and so much with UNF. Nick Morrow, kind enough to come by, the UNF athletic director, talking about the hiring full-time of head coach Bobby Kinnan. We're certainly happy for Bobby and all the folks at UNF. But we started the program talking a great deal about free agency. Hayes, give us a little bit of a primer, or at least a review, if you will. We know Montaric Brown re-signed with the Jags, 3 years, $33 million, a very important part of it. I said this earlier. When I really think this started happening was early in the season, when the Jags were kind of going to start alternating Montaric and Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell, a big dollar second-round guy, and when that started happening, I think that's one of the reasons they thought they could move Tyson Campbell to the Browns. Greg Newsome maybe didn't turn out to be a great player, but they knew they had Montaric, who was playing at the same level of Tyson Campbell. And again, I want to be clear. When I say that, I'm not knocking Tyson. Tyson's a good player. I'm telling you how good Montaric Brown is. So that was an important one. Dennis Gardeck re-signed 2 years, $12 million. He gives them an attitude. He gives them an edge. He's a starting Sam linebacker in the base formation, but also in nickel, he's kind of one of their better outside pass rushers. So those two really mattered. Travis Etienne, the only guy I've known affecting the Jaguars, I think 4 years, $52 million to the Saints, so he will not be back. No word yet on Devin Lloyd. That's the other one we're waiting to hear. Will the Jags find a way to bring him back? Is there will linebacker? Will he get big money like Travis did? And then will the Jags strike with somebody else at will linebacker, some other spots? That's kind of the Jaguar look at things. Go around the league a little bit. What's caught your attention?
Yeah, I'll start in the division. Tennessee, really incredibly active as we expected with their cap space and their terrible roster. Jonathan Franklin Myers, an interesting signing there, defensive lineman, versatile guy. The Jaguars were sort of mentioned as a potential fit for him, but he obviously gets crazy money there. Indianapolis at their receiver position, retaining Alec Pierce on a big deal, $116 million extension, but then they trade Michael Pittman to the Steelers. So interesting there in Indianapolis. The Colts also signed Arden Key, who obviously is a former Jaguar, was with the Titans the last couple of years. So Indianapolis tries to boost their pass rush with the addition of Key. In looking around the league, I like Mike Evans to the 49ers. I think he's got one more great year left at least. And I think Kyle Shanahan will bring that out of him. And plus, I think the weapons that they have in San Francisco, it's going to be hard to devote a lot of attention to Mike Evans. And I think in that offense, if Brock Purdy can get him the ball deep, and I think he can, I think Mike Evans has a chance to really boost his already Hall of Fame resume. So Malik Willis to the Dolphins, that's one that's, I think that's a little bit of a puzzler in terms of what the Dolphins are doing as they take on just a ridiculous cap hit in releasing Tua and then to sign Malik Willis to big money. So I think it's going to be a while before we see the Dolphins do anything of consequence in the tournament or even make the tournament. Those were the sort of the things that stood out to me. I am surprised the Devin Lloyd deal is not done. Romeo Doubs is a player. I'm surprised that deal isn't done yet. The talented Green Bay receiver. He's very underrated, but he is a very polished receiver, and I expected that he'd have a quick suitor. And Kenneth Walker, that was probably the first big one we saw today. About 10 minutes after the legal tampering window opened, the Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker to a $14 million deal.
Could Romeo Doubs wind up in Miami with his quarterback Malik Willis and his head coach Jeff Hafley? I think Jeff Hafley's connection to Malik Willis had the effect that some common sense tells you the former Green Bay assistant is now the Dolphins head coach, and he brings Malik Willis with him. That one surprised me as well. The Tua thing's interesting. The Dolphins obviously were over him. They've moved on from Tua. That was pretty clear. Now it looks like he's going to sign with the Falcons. With the Dolphins paying him, but he's going to sign with the Falcons. I guess his insurance policy to Michael Penix, they're very similar. They're both left-handed. They're both about the same size. I wonder if that's a factor. I wonder if you bring in a guy, the ball comes out of their hands the same way. Your receivers catch balls from two guys who throw it similarly. My guess is that's probably in play somewhere.
I think it is. I also think it's somewhat savvy of the Falcons because you play in a dome. I don't think Tua is a very good poor weather player. So you play your home games in a dome. New Orleans is in a dome. Carolina, you're probably never going to deal with terrible weather. And so I think in looking at the rest of that division, obviously Tampa Bay is gorgeous weather for the most part. So I think Tua fits for a team like Atlanta best because you're not going to have to worry about going to Buffalo in December like he was having to worry about with Miami and obviously the Jets and the Patriots.
Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting. So back to the Jags for a second. I didn't believe there was much opportunity that they would be able to sign Etienne or Devin Lloyd. I haven't changed my mind on that. I think we will see Devin Lloyd sign elsewhere. But if that does happen, my guess is the Jags are going to sign some free agents. I didn't expect it to be today. I thought they would kind of redo their two guys today. Gardeck, kind of expected to happen today. Montaric Brown, I didn't know where that was going to be, but I'm glad that it happened today. So I think, but I do think, and I still believe, if it's not Devin Lloyd, in my opinion, that's a position they get a veteran. Okay, so right now, the Foye Oluokun's the middle linebacker. Right, Jack Kaiser has worked at Mike, so he's worked behind Foye. The two will linebackers are Ventrell Miller from Florida and Branson Combs, a young player that was undrafted that they really like. Ventrell Miller plays 1,000 miles an hour. He may be their most explosive defensive player. He may be their hardest hitting defensive player. He's got to prove that he can follow assignments and play in space and cover. Branson Combs is just a young player. So for those reasons, I would expect a veteran to come in here and compete at the will linebacker spot, whether he starts or not. The other place where I think they're going to bring in a veteran is at running back. I think Bashil Tootin is probably slated to be running back one. I think that. Maybe LaQuinn Allen is running back two. We'll see. He was a good running back in college, and he does a lot of other things really well. He's a great third down back. He's great in pass protection. He's a physical player. He's a guy that likes to hit people. We all know that by now. But with two really young running backs, I would expect a veteran to be in that room. If it's nothing else to watch, show you how to watch tape, show you how to be a pro. And those two guys are good young guys. They're good. They're going to be good pros. But they're still going into their second year in the league. And those are your guys, DJ Dallas re-up, but he's a bit of a journeyman. So I would expect a veteran to come into this team at some point at will linebacker, at running back, somewhere along the defensive line. I would expect the Jags to possibly address those areas, not with a top-tier free agent, but with a free agent of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking at your bargain hunting a little bit as they should be doing, and they, again, their cap, they are compliant now, obviously, with the cap, but it's not like they have oodles of money to spend. Yeah, running back is a position. There's going to be some really good veterans that don't get the market that they thought they would have.
Correct.
And so I think running back is one in which, you sign a guy to a 1 year, $2.5 million deal, something like that. And I don't think they'll have any issue there. And then, you'd like to add a veteran along the defensive front. Those guys are more expensive, so that could be a little bit more of a challenge. And I think they're going to solve the Devin Lloyd thing through the draft, would be my guess. Whether it's the second round pick or one of the 3/3. But yeah, I mean, I think, look, the roster's in great shape. We've said it since the Buffalo loss. It's going to be awfully hard to make this 53. They have 11 picks. They were not going to be able to. They didn't have the means or really the need to go sign a bunch of free agents. So they've done what they needed to do. They retained Montaric Brown. They retained Dennis Gardeck, and I would anticipate now. I mean, if I were them, I honestly, I'd wait till after the draft. I mean, I'd protect those comp picks. We don't know what Devin Lloyd's deal is going to look like, but and the fact that it isn't done yet is a little bit of a concern, but I still think that's probably going to bring them a third-round comp pick next year. Etienne probably brings them, with his deal, a fifth-round comp pick, and again, that's how these good teams stay good is, they draft well, they can't pay everybody, but then they're quiet in free agency. They get the comp picks and they're able to use those picks to help maneuver or just, refill the coffers. So the Jaguars doing a good job of getting ahead of that. And,
yeah,
because of that, I think they're not going to want to affect their formula by going out and spending a lot on other teams' free agents. So you just wait until that formula expires, and it expires Monday after the draft. So you see your 11-man class, if that's what they end up doing, drafting 11 guys. But look at your draft class, evaluate that, what you got, what you like, what you don't, and then apply it to the free agent market. There will still be a lot of veterans out there looking for work.
By and large, I think they're going to do what you said. Now, I think by a big picture, I think they're going to rely on the draft to make their team better. That's the thesis statement you laid out. I would be surprised if they don't bring in anybody in the free agent period before the draft. Again, I don't think it's a big dollar guy. I'd be surprised if there's not, again, a will linebacker, a defensive tackle or end, a running back. I'd be surprised if somebody doesn't come in. But to your point, there's not a where you're going with this is there's not a big need. There's not a necessity. There's no urgency. And the good, by the way, you talk about bargain hunting. The good thing about not having an urgency is it becomes at that point a little bit of a buyer's market. Well, that's what you want. What you don't want to do is, oh my God, we got to go find. I mean, we see teams now that are desperate. They've had to go. I mean, the Jets are desperate. I mean, the Dolphins are desperate.
The Titans are desperate.
Titans are desperate, and maybe some of the moves they've made are good, but they were desperate now. I mean, so we've seen a level of the Colts have a little bit of that. I mean, so the Jags weren't there. When the foundation is built, when the core is built, the desperation is gone. They want to make their team better. And listen, I can tell you this too. There will be pressure on them, and they know that. There will be pressure on them, this group, for nothing they've done wrong. Okay. There will be pressure on Tony Baselli, James Gladstone, and Liam Cohen. None of their own doing. But here's the reality is the Jacksonville Jaguars, other than the Tom Coughlin years in the 90s, have never been very good at replicating their success. They were good in 07 thereabouts, and then they fell off. Then they weren't good forever. Then they had a great season in 17, and we were all excited about 18, and they fell off. And then they were really good in 22, and they won a dramatic playoff game against the Chargers, and then they fell off. So there's going to be an expectation around the league that they're going to fall off again. And that is, God bless those guys. They didn't do it. They had nothing to do with it. Baselli was calling the games. Gladstone and Liam lived somewhere else. But that's going to be the question people are going to ask. And if it starts badly, that's what everyone's going to say. It was kind of funny this year when they started off great. Everybody was excited, right? When they're 5-4 or whatever they were, everyone all of a sudden thinks, same old Jaguars. And then he went on the run. So it's what have you done for me lately in the NFL? So one of the Jaguar thoughts, and we'll get to some basketball and some other thoughts in a minute. I'm very interested to watch the Walker Little story play out. Walker Little, by all accounts, will not be a starter. I think they found their left tackle in Cole Van Lanen. I think if he's healthy, he'll be the left tackle. I think Anton Harrison will be the right tackle. I think there was some conversation about flipping him, but now I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cole Van Lanen's going to be there. They really like him. I think he's going to be their left tackle. I think Anton's going to be their right tackle. So Walker Little's interesting. He certainly could fetch something. But the other side of that, he's a really good guy to have. He went in and played right guard and was pretty dang good. I mean, he was really good. He's an awfully good guy that when he's right, to have as your sixth offensive lineman. You talk about a swing everything. That's an awfully good guy to have. So it wouldn't bother me if they can find something for him. They'll take it. But it wouldn't bother me to see Walker Little as a very good sixth man on that offensive line.
I'd hold on to him. You already have 11 picks in this draft, and you don't know when Van Lanen's going to be 100%.
Right.
It could be into camp. You have no idea. So, you may need Walker Little just if Van Lanen has a setback. But even if Van Lanen comes back and is fully healthy and ready for training camp, some offensive tackle is going to get hurt in the preseason.
It's football.
We saw it with the Chargers this past year. They lost Rashawn Slater, their star left tackle, blew out his knee on like the third day of practice. You're going to have more leverage if you're the Jaguars if you hold Walker Little now and wait until you get into training camp. And look, it could be you. What if God forbid, what if something happens to Anton Harrison or Van Lanen or McCary, like you mentioned, where Walker Little has proved he can play right guard. So keep him as an insurance policy. When there's a big injury in the NFL, you're going to get a call, and at that point, maybe you can get a fourth-round pick in 27 for him, probably can, which would be more than what you'd get right now. And again, you're amplifying your selections in the 27 draft. You already have 11 in this draft. The 11 guys aren't making this 53, so they don't need more picks. But the 27 class, yeah, you have 7. You expect you'll probably get a couple comps. That's 9. Walker Little pick gets you to 10. That's a position of strength that we know the Jaguars covet.
It's funny, Hayes. Every time we look at team, we look at rosters, you look at depth charts, you say, nobody looks at the backups. We do. You just say, okay, we're good. We're good. Well, guys are going to get hurt. It's freaking football. It's a barbarian sport in a lot of ways, so people are going to get hurt. It's okay to have a pretty good backup when you need one. So we'll see what happens. Let's take a break. We'll talk some hoops. Congratulations to Todd Golden and the Florida basketball team. They dominated the awards circuit in the SEC. We'll talk about that and more. We continue. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jags, Gators, high school heroes. 1010XL covers it all. The 1010XL network is now streaming on YouTube and all your favorite social channels. at 1010XL.
If you or someone you know are having a special day soon, perhaps the birth of a baby or a big birthday for a senior citizen, Kuhn Flowers will send the perfect arrangement. JJ LaSelva here with 1010XL, and I've personally experienced the magic of a Kuhn Flowers delivery. Log on or call KuhnFlowers.com.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
Ahead, we build platforms for digital business. We help create your platform for digital business by weaving together advances in cloud infrastructure, intelligent operations, and modern applications. Digital business is comprised of 5 pillars. We call them imperatives because they're a must-have, not a nice-to-have. We enterprise cloud, integrated security, scaled DevOps, intelligent operations, and relentless automation. Need help with digital transformation? Ahead. Learn, grow, achieve.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Which school won the first NCAA men's basketball championship?
When your homeowner's insurance policy is up for renewal, it's a good idea to shop around to find a better plan. Southern Oak Insurance for over 20 years provides Floridians a clear option. SouthernOak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Oregon Ducks won the first NCAA men's basketball championship in 1939. They defeated the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
We know what to look for. We go right to the source, the connections. But yeah, we go directly to the source.
Dan and John Lupo at Beards Diamonds talking about what it means to be a direct diamond importer.
We do a lot of business out of India. We do a lot of business out of Antwerp, Belgium, Israel, Africa as well. We will do whatever it takes to get the stone that the customer wants at the best price guaranteed.
So every diamond at Beards is hand-picked and brought in with no third-party markups. And so with no commission salespeople and no Wall Street quotas, Beards can price every diamond for less.
If they've been shopping, which we encourage, and then come to us, and they're kind of, at first, they're like, oh, why is this $5,000 or $7,000 less?
Best value guarantee, best selection guarantee, best experience, bar none, guaranteed. From Jacksonville's locally owned Diamond Powerhouse.
The family, the relaxed atmosphere, and we're there for each other.
It gives us a big advantage being local, and we love Jacksonville. The money stays in Jacksonville, by the way.
Beards Diamonds in St. John's Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not looking at the rearview mirror of unforgiveness. It's so easy to keep looking in the past when someone has hurt or offended us. What we don't realize that if we keep looking at the rearview mirror of anger, it will cause us to miss out on the good things that God has in store right in front of us. Friends, looking in the rearview mirror of the past will never give you peace in the present.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, a lot of things to talk about today, but I think the gold moment today was our friend Nick Morrow coming by and talking about the hiring of Bobby Kennan. When UNF hired the full-time men's basketball coach, that's a big deal around here, and he announced that. So I would say that probably pretty much was our golden moment today. But we certainly talked a lot of golf today. Scott Schroeder, the head golf coach here at UNF, kind enough to come by for a while. And obviously the big story of the day has been the Jaguars and other NFL teams, active or not active. Again, we've been recapping it all day. I'll do it again. Montaric Brown stays with the Jags, 3 years, $33 million. He'll be a starting cornerback for Jacksonville. Dennis Gardeck stays. He's a starting strong side linebacker for the Jags, 2 years, $2 million. Travis Etienne, the other player that Jaguar fans will be interested in, is leaving for the Saints, 4 years, $52 million. Good for Travis, by the way. He deserved it. He got paid a bunch of money. The other ones that stood out, Malik Willis to the Dolphins, Alec Pierce stays with Indy, Mike Evans to the 49ers. The Colts trading Michael Pittman to the Steelers, Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, Travis Kelce back with the Chiefs. I think those are the big ones. And so there's a lot we can kind of recap. And that's been the news in the NFL. To college basketball for a second, I will tell you this. I've now tried to watch Duke. I've tried to watch Arizona. For whatever reason, I haven't been able to see Michigan very much. UConn, I think, is fading a bit.
Terrible loss this weekend.
To Marquette.
19 loss Marquette.
Yeah. So I think Florida will be a 1 seed. I think if they win out, they're a 1 seed. I even wonder if they get to Sunday, are they not a 1 seed?
I think they are.
They could be, but I think.
I mean, for a big reason for that is the committee is going to have the bracket done.
Right.
I mean, so they're not going to punish them for losing to an
Yeah.
Arkansas or an Alabama. So that's a high quad 1 game. So losing that is not going to, affect their resume.
Yeah. So I would tell you, this is as angry, ornery, talented, skilled, deep a team as there is in the country. It's as deep a team. They are as well positioned. I didn't believe this early because I didn't think they'd shoot it well enough. And again, the shooting is never going to be what they're best at, but they shoot it okay now. Klavjard's going to make threes. When Lee's opening, Hauk is going to make threes. When Lee gets a good enough look, he's not automatically missing it now. So
Fland's heated up.
Fland is starting to make some. So this is now a team that I don't want to say is flawless. Nobody's flawless, but they're about as complete in terms of big, physical, fast, skilled, well coached. I mean, again, the SEC awards came out today. Golden was the coach of the year. I don't know how anybody else could have even considered getting a vote for. He was the coach of the year. Tommy Hauk was first team All-SEC. Ruben Chinyelu was second team All-SEC. Alex Condon was third team All-SEC. Urban Klavjar was the sixth man of the year in the league. Ruben Chinyelu was the defensive player of the year in the league. How many more awards you got? I mean, it's been about as, listen, in 14, they were 18-0 in the regular season and 3-0 in the tournament. You can't be more dominant than that. They won every game. But other than that, this is, including 06 and 07, about as dominant as the Florida Gators have ever been in the Southeastern Conference basketball race.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the league has gotten so much better. I mean, the year that Florida went undefeated, I guarantee there weren't 10 or 11 teams from the SEC going to the big dance like there is right now. It's 10, we know, at a minimum. And then we'll see. Auburn probably doesn't make it, but maybe if they, do something in Nashville this week, they could get on the right side of the bubble. But they're very close. The bubble's incredibly weak. So, to run through the league like they did, to win all the awards that you mentioned in a league in which 10 teams are going, it speaks volumes for what Todd Golden's done. I mean, he's built a buzzsaw, and that's what they are. I mean, I'm sure there is a path to beat Florida, but boy, it is hard to find. You better have a machete in each hand as you forge through that wilderness to, carve yourself out a path to beat this team, particularly before you get to Indianapolis. Now, I think Arizona, Duke, Michigan, they're absolutely on Florida's level. But, I mean, I'm at the point where I will be stunned if Florida doesn't make at least the Elite Eight. And I don't care if I don't think they'll have to play Houston in Houston. I don't think Houston will be the 2 seed in their region. But if they are, I think Todd Golden and his team, they feel like they could play that game in Kelvin Sampson's living room. Right. And they're going to beat Houston.
I will tell you, and listen, the thing that makes the NCAA basketball tournament wonderful and magical and tragic all at the same time is one bad game and it's all over. Again, football at every level and basketball at the college level, that one loss, there's no 3 out of 5, 4 out of 7, that one bad day and you're out. And look, it's hard to win. I went back and was watching last year's run and they were behind almost every game. I mean, I forgot they were down 7 to UConn. I forgot. I remember they were down to Texas Tech. We all remember they were down to Houston.
Maryland gave them a
Maryland pushed
heck
them.
of a fight.
So almost every game they played, almost every game, they almost lost. You know, I mean, they almost lost in the round of 32 to an 8 seed, which is what UConn was. So it's hard to win, and they won last year. I mean, if you go back and watch, listen, their big guys could run the floor. They were deep, and Handlogton coming back was helpful. Will Richard made a bunch of shots in that Houston game, and they don't win it. Martin certainly was Elijah Martin was certainly a physical culture guy that made him tough. But the amount of shots that Walter Clayton Jr. made in that tournament, if you go back and watch,
it's stunning.
It's stunning. The amount of times the game looked out of reach, and then from about the 6-minute mark on to the rest of the game, he just started making everything. It was amazing how many shots. Somebody did a collage on social media of how many big shots he made in the NCAA tournament. Big shots in the last 5-6 minutes of the game. Hayes, it was incredible. So I don't see the same path. I don't see get behind, and then one guy takes over. I don't think that's who they are. I can't imagine a game where they're not leading. I mean, the Auburn loss, they didn't lead at all in that game. Auburn, they were asleep at the wheel from the get-go. But and again, you can.
But you have to go back to January to find that game.
Yes,
I mean they've got the longest active win streak of any power team in the nation.
And one thing that makes college basketball great, and I do believe one thing that makes college basketball great, is you really don't know the league-to-league stuff. What made Florida and Auburn so good last year is they were in that great league that was as good as everybody has advertised. So when they got into the tournament, they rolled through people. Both of them did. They both went to the Final Four because they had been tested by each other. Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky. They had been tested by all the A&M, all those really good Alabama. They'd been tested by all those really good teams. And this year, the detractors say the league's not nearly as good. And when they get against a Big Ten team, they'll find the Big Ten team will be what they were last year. And they may be right. The beauty is you don't know that until you play the tournament. And so, but having said all that, I'm watching them every game, and I can't imagine that they're not going to be in the middle of the ring toe-to-toe with somebody for 14 rounds. I just can't imagine that's not going to happen. So we'll see whether or not it does. We'll take a break. We'll be back to wrap the program from the Hate after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Some slight movements in the futures of the NBA Finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they remain the betting favorite at plus 135. The Celtics have moved up to number 2 now that Jason Tatum is back from an Achilles injury last postseason. They are plus 600. San Antonio has won 15 of their last 16 games. They are plus 750 to win the NBA championship. The Denver Nuggets are plus 800. Cleveland is plus 1,000. That's the second best bet out of the East, while the New York Knicks are plus 1,600. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander remains the betting favorite to win the MVP at plus 140.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010 XL.
All right, Jackson, let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Daly's is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Daly's. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Daly's is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Daly's. Daly's is made fresh, it's made local, and Daly's is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
At G&H Tires and Service, the G stands for great pricing. The H, well, that means honest service. For over 20 years, Roger and his team have helped Jacksonville drivers stay safe on the road. Need brakes? Oil change? AC not blowing cold? Well, how about a super affordable $36 oil change? Affordable brake jobs, AC checks before summer hits, alignments for all these construction roads, and even free check engine light inspections. Locally owned, community driven. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlyon. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory-backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship-level service as a brand-new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
This is Hayes Carlyon for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We thank our friends one more time for the Best Bet. They always do such a great job. I'm proud to be a spokesman for the Best Bet and have really for the longest time. Now, remember, those weekend winnings are all Best Bet locations. $500 the first 30 minutes, $1,000 the second 30 minutes, noon to midnight Fridays and Saturdays. And you can see all the promotions at the Best Bet locations. Just go to bestbetjax.com. Thanks to the folks at UNF and Sawgrass Country Club for having us out for the Hate. It's about the 4th or 5th year in a row we've done this. We love coming out. Best weather we've ever had out here. Are you ready to go to Ponte Vedra?
I can't wait.
Because if you're not ready, I'll tell them to cancel the damn thing.
I've been ready for a while. It looks gorgeous, and can't wait to be out there. I think it's going to be – I'm a little worried about Rory because he had the withdrawal Saturday with the back spasms and then had a statement today where he said it still hasn't gotten to the point where I was hoping it would get. So he's not here. He said he's going to stay at home Monday, Tuesday, and then come up Wednesday. So hopefully he'll be here. Obviously the defending champion and a 2-time winner of the Players. Hopefully we'll have Rory McIlroy. I still think we will, but that's the biggest storyline as we get ready for Tuesday.
How about the drama yesterday? Were you watching?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was a great tournament.
I mean, it was absolutely. I mean, I couldn't turn it off.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Akshay Bhatia, who's been an emerging player now for a while, it's his 3rd tour win. Ironically enough, all 3 have come in a playoff, and poor Daniel Berger had the big lead and
led the whole
had
time.
It the whole time until the very last hole, and then it obviously went to sudden death. But
he led by 1 to start the day. But it grew to like 5 in the back 9.
Yeah.
And Bhatia made a long putt. And I mean, it was great theater, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was really really good theater down the stretch, and 18 was really hard, so they made him keep playing it. And I mean, it was great. The putt Berger made to send it into overtime.
Yes.
To send it into sudden death was fantastic. And
Batia almost holed out.
Yes.
On the back nine. And he was a good lesson in perseverance because he had a terrible approach on the front nine and got in the water, but was able to hang in and stay mentally sharp and picked up a signature win.
I got to tell you, I locked in. I locked in from about 3:30. And I mean, I love to watch golf on Sunday afternoon, but I'll flip it back and forth. I was locked in. Were you?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I was locked in. It was great golf, really, really good theater. We'll certainly.
And good to see Ludwig Oberg, Colin Morikawa.
Yes.
Those guys.
They were in the hunt.
In the hunt, so they come to Sawgrass in good form to the stadium course. So it should be awesome. And obviously Scotty Scheffler, how is he not? He's world number one by a mile.
Right.
And has won 2 of the last 3 of these. And this was an interesting stat. The Players Championship tweeted this out earlier today. Rory and Scheffler trying to become, Nicklaus is the only 3-time champion, but he didn't win all 3 at the stadium course. Rory and Scheffler trying to become the first 3-time winner at the stadium course. So a little bit of fun Players history there they're chasing.
Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick, busy day in the NFL today. What caught your attention the most? Any surprise by what happened regarding the Jags?
No. Yeah, I'm happy with the moves that Jacksonville has made. I'm surprised around the league, though. Really some stupid deals, in my opinion. Almost as if every general manager in the NFL, not named James Gladstone, is either stoned or drunk. Because some of the money, the money that Alec Pierce earned, are you kidding me? Jalen Phillips, it just goes on and on and on. So, we understand what free agency is all about, fill an immediate need, and typically they last for a couple of years, maybe a third season. But I'm looking at this, and I really can't see a lot of team-friendly deals. It feels like a major overspend for me by a lot of these other clubs.
Rick, I think teams get desperate. Hayes and I were talking about that earlier. You're desperate. Your GM's in his last years. Your coach maybe. Teams around you are winning. And teams just I think they're more desperate than to your point, because it's a very good one. I think teams are more desperate than ever. Don't you get that sense? That's what it felt like to me.
Well, yeah, and we only had a couple of general manager changes a year ago, but we had 10 coaching changes. And if you just look at the changes there, the changes at quarterback, and then the way things work with your front office and your personnel, that if you're not winning, you're absolutely going to be replaced. But I sense panic here by, in my opinion, not even close to being playoff teams. I know Carolina went on a nice little run, but really, to spend that amount of money and to look at paying an aging Mike Evans, the amount of money that he made, I was just surprised by it. And, for the Jags, I think they identified the 2 biggest free agents of their own to bring back. I didn't think they had a chance at Lloyd nor Etienne. So I think Jacksonville's had a good day.
All right, then I bet all that's coming up tonight. What else?
Absolutely. All that plus everything else. We expect more moves to come in. We're about, 6 hours into this bad boy. So much more to happen tonight, and we'll be on it and look forward to doing it here over the next couple of hours.
All right, Rick. Thanks, buddy. Rick Ballou goes into the night, and that happens right now. One more time, thanks to The Hate for having us out. We love coming out here on a gorgeous, gorgeous day. We are out of here tomorrow. We'll still be in Ponte Vedra. We'll be across the street. Our first show from the Players Championship, the Military Appreciation Day, all of our shows all day long at the radio station. We'll be live from the Players all week long. We'll be at Trucks on 10. So anytime during the day, come see one of our shows. We'd love for you to come by and say hello. We're out of here. For Hayes and RJ, fill in for JJ, I'm Frank.